A24 is back, this time with Death of a Unicorn. We've been in a cold streak of good movies as of late. Is this going to break us out of that cold streak? And let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're going to be diving into A24's Death of a Unicorn. Before we do dive in, please do not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. I'm trying to get this little channel to 1,000 subscribers in 2025. If I do, I'll be giving away a free $150 gift card to a subscriber of my choice. And if you comment down below, you have a higher chance of winning. Death of a Unicorn is a movie that's on the list once again of movies I had not watched a trailer for. I went in pretty completely blind. And this is a pretty star-studded movie, and I knew nothing about the premise of the film. I knew a little bit possibly about it being maybe a horror film, of course, because it's A24, and possibly that it's a unicorn that's out to kill people. I was pretty off on that premise. There's a lot of cast in this film. We've got Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd as the two leading stars of the movie. Then we got Will Poulter, we got Tia Leone, Richard Grant is even in this movie. Death of a Unicorn is of course trying to say something about the society we live here in America with all the rich people and how they pretend to be philanthropists all the time. In reality, there's actually bad people. And that is a good premise in itself. But there's another story in this movie about unicorns and how there's an afterlife with them, and Jenna Ortega kind of feels the presence and the aura that's going on with them. And when this movie started out with Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd kind of in a car on a road trip towards a destination, I thought to myself, I'm in for something I might enjoy. Two characters and a more of a character building type movie, something I haven't seen in a while. Lately, I've been seeing these over-the-top action films that have done nothing for me, and so I was kind of excited to see something more on this smaller scale. And the premise is a little interesting, of course, as they hit a unicorn in the middle of the road and stuff starts kind of going off the rails from there. And honestly, though, as the movie went on, it just seemed to work less and less for me. Death of a Unicorn didn't really seem to know what it wanted to be. It categorizes itself as a horror comedy. However, it seems like it couldn't find a balance between that. There's moments it was being a straightforward horror, and after that, they would kill the levity with some kind of joke, but the jokes didn't ever seem to really land. And the reason for that is I feel like some of the characters would make a joke in a scene, but the other characters were still acting like they were in a horror movie, and it just was not a good mix at all. Typically, when Paul Rudd is in a movie, you know one thing you can bank on is that he is going to be really likable, and that is something that this movie definitely lacked in, is I did not like Paul Rudd's character at all in this film. He was playing a father of Jenna Ortega's character, and he's trying to do good by making their family a lot of money, but at the same time, I just do not like how it came off or how they wrote his character. I do believe Jenna Ortega is a good actress and she's gonna have an amazing career in the future. She also has her moments in this movie of showing her ability to act. But I do think it's time for her to kind of move past that anxious teen and start moving into more mature roles. And a side note is I do believe she's starting to do that with movies that she has coming out in the future. Now, Death of a Unicorn is not all bad of a movie. Some people might get enjoyment out of it. It seemed like everything this movie was going for had a good intention, was just not executed well. There's death scenes in this movie that are really cool, but then you wish that it just kept with the levity of that scene. It goes straight towards a character who's being over the top and just took me out of the film. The worst sin of this movie is that it's about an hour and 45 minutes long, which is not a bad runtime, but it felt like it was a lot longer. I felt like it was kind of a slog throughout. I felt like it was going at a snail's pace even when stuff was happening. There's a lot of scenes where, of course, the unicorn or unicorns is in the movie, and I just thought to myself, this is really corny, this is really cheesy. I don't find myself into this at all. So again, there's many storylines in Death of a Unicorn. All of them just kept going all over the place. There's certain ones that I wish they would go way further more into, and they kept just scratching the surface of every single storyline, and that just really brought down the experience for me while watching this movie. Since it's an A24 film, especially this movie, there's a lot of meanings, of course, that's going behind what they're trying to show you on screen, but I just found myself rolling my eyes at everything that was happening and how deep it was supposed to be. One little benefit I'll give here is, yeah, it is an original film, so it's something that I have not seen before, and however, that does add to the disappointment because it is something I haven't seen before, and it just seemed like they dropped the ball in so many aspects. So not having high hopes going into this movie, it is weird to say that I was quite disappointed coming out of it because you see the potential in the film as you watch it, and at the same time just feel so bored at all the characters on screen. Will Poulter's character at the beginning of the movie I think has some funny moments with the satire, but as the movie goes on, he just gets more outlandish and just gets way more over the top, and by the end of the movie, I just truly don't care about his character anymore. It's not one of the worst movies I'll see all year, however, it's not something I'm ever going to revisit. So I'm going to go ahead and give Death of a Unicorn a 50 out of 100. Have you guys seen it? Did you get some enjoyment out of it? Or did you find it kind of boring the same way I did? Comment down below, please let me know, and do not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive, and we will see you next time.